Milo, you know why there's a singular glove? Because you left it there, you little monkey.
What did I leave behind?
You left that glove there, didn't you?
Oh, that was when you just passed in the gauntlet because I never made
Yeah.
my video.
Oh.
You sent me that little love message, didn't you,
Oh,
Milo?
yes.
Yeah, you did. You kept that.
I'll say that's some of my Nita handwriting right there. I clearly took a lot of time and effort.
Oh, God.
What happened there?
Spies just started crawling my hand.
On this week's show.
It's probably more scared of me than I am of it. But it's a big one. Oh, you.
Well, it's camera shy.
At least in the UK, we know that they're not poisonous.
That's true.
Yeah, it's just it's a light tickle. That's
Yeah.
what you get.
It was a light tickle, little bugger.
Oof, sounds delightful.
Yeah, I'm in Spider Shed now, Ian.
Spider shed.
Oh, yeah, they're going to start coming in now because the temperature's dropping.
They've already been doing that. They've already been rocking up in the house like, well, I'm here. This is comfy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's nice and warm here. I don't need to go outside.
Yeah.
All the spider Pokemon. Apart from Spinarak, what do we have? Dupider, that's it.
Dupider the Stupiders.
The
Stupider
Stupider are searching for warmer climates, which is in Mark's shed, apparently.
Felt it move on my hand, Ian. It was, oh, wow, that was weird.
Glenn,
Nice! Oh, I've lost eyes on the spider now. I don't know where it's gone.
it's going to crawl into an orifice. Just
An orifice. I hope it's not my orifice, Milo.
Just remember, boys, we're family
oh,
friendly.
did I say
now.
orifice? I meant to say office.
Office. Yeah.
Mark's going to be doing a section in the news, and then he's suddenly going to leap up.
Wait, just wait for Mark to. That was the and this isn't politically correct, but that was the girliest scream ever, Mark.
Yeah, it was. I'll be like this going, spiders up here!
To my left. On episode 192, Mark is desperately trying to find something to replace his Sewaddle fascination. Ian is still smug as hell with his G-Bird fortune. And I forgot to think of something for myself. But anyway, welcome back to the Incensed Podcast, and we three are back in the studio after our weekend adventure. We've got Master Waddle 27, we've got Ian Bluebird himself, and me, Pogo Salty and Soggy UK. Gentlemen, how are you doing on this fine Tuesday evening?
You got his name wrong. It's Mankey Waddle 27.
Oh, that's too close to the cusp. Careful here.
I don't like Mankey.
That's not your new fascination, is it, for November?
I refuse to play Mankey alone.
I'm just like embracing Ian's smugness. It feels nice, Ian. And rightly so, by the way.
It's a warmth of smugness, isn't it? It's just
I know,
radiating.
but people don't get to see my smugness because we're not video this week.
You can hear his smugness through his smugness tones.
Smugness mode engaged.
By goodness. And Milo, you are soggy because you live in the UK, obviously. And
Yeah.
you should have said, and I have had 4 hours sleep after being up for 24 hours on...
Yeah, but that would just be factual.
Well, you're saying Master Waddle 27 and Ian Bluebird isn't factual? Or are you...
Are you changing your name?
Maybe. I'm not ruling anything out, sunshine.
And Ian does have a blue bird.
He does, that's factual.
Actually,
Yeah.
I don't have a bluebird. It's grey and yellow.
He's got a little bit of blue in it, Ian, though. Tiny
I
bit
had
of
a
blue.
bluebird once, hence why I nicknamed this one that. But there we go. Different story from a different time.
Anyway.
Milo, how wet are you at the moment? Have you dried out?
So what?
Have you dried out from being outside?
It's been a long time since I've been asked that question. No, I'm all good. I am dry, comfortable, and only slightly sleep deprivated at the moment, which is nice compared to what it was earlier today. It chucked it down between midnight and 2, and then it was, you guys know, anybody from the UK knows, it's that autumn weather where it just doesn't know what it wants to do, and it goes, you know what, I'm going to chuck it down with rain, and then 20 minutes later it's bright, sunny, super warm. You're like, I can't deal with this. I can't hack it.
You've lived in the wrong country for the last 30 years in sunshine.
This
Yeah.
last 24-hour challenge did make me consider moving.
Mallorca?
Somewhere with better climate.
I'll just move to my second house in Mallorca.
Second house in Mallorca.
Fabulous. Anyway, are we ready for 192?
Ready?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen, Milo. Amen.
Amen. We are three men.
We are three men.
Goodness me. Right. With all of the Galarian bird hype, I feel we have even more of a reason to say to you listeners.
Oi, you sleepy sailors, it's time to drop your insert.
And we are sending that shiny birdie luck your way. Make sure you drop Roar of Time because it will suit the episode length. Best believe me on that one, even if it's for a little bit. And if you do get something while listening to 192, tag us over X, Instagram, Threads, or via Campfire, our Patreon, Discord, contact at incensedpodcast.com, the direct message service that is available, and finally the WhatsApp number, which I got from my memory. I think you've eventually burnt it into my mind, Ian. Hopefully this is correct. If not, Ian is going to hopefully get it right for me. +44 759 269 5696. Hallelujah. Utilize that. It's a free method, as long as you have some kind of internet connection. There's plenty of methods to contact us and let us know how you did, but every single one of them, you must include hashtag shinies of the week. Or hashtag goat of the week.
Oh, the goat.
Clarify spelling.
That would be G-O-T.
G-O-A-T. It's not got.
Got.
Yes.
Goat of the week.
So just leave a got of the week, apparently. No, that would be hashtag SHINIESOFTHEWEEK. And we cannot wait to hear from you guys of what you're getting while listening to 192. But we would like to kick off by saying the biggest thanks to our Patreon supporters. So everybody who's on the bronze, silver, and gold tiers. We say it every week, but they are very much the reason we're able to continue producing this podcast to the highest of standards that we're able to do so. And we do like to give a special shout out to the gold tier members, who are the following. We have JB, Clifford Mert, Darby Russ, Kerry and Zachary, Barside 2, Mandy Croft, Mr. Mossam, and brand new gold member, Dean DHL.
What member?
Thank you so... Girls! You can tell I'm so tired and don't remember what I'm doing. But welcome, Dean, to the gold tier. And all those folks who are on the gold tier get to witness the live recording chaos that happens, including everything that gets cut out of the cold open. There's plenty of material. Not least Marky and his spider-infested shed.
And some expletives.
And expletives, yes, which definitely get cut out. But we do have, boys, a couple of new Patreon members from other tiers. So a big welcome to Charlie Todd, who joined the silver tier earlier this week. And we also have a new bronze member who's Mads 00XX. So big
Mads
welcome.
Mikkelsen then for a second. Does he play Pokemon GO?
I don't know. Should we DM him and ask?
Welcome.
Big welcome. And if you're interested in looking at our Patreon, you can find it linked in the description. It's patreon.com/incensed podcast. And there's tiers starting from £1.50 will get you into bronze, or you can go right up through until the gold tier, where you get to witness a live recording every single week, and you get the playback as well. Silver tiers get the playback, but a week or so later.
Silver tier, £5, they get pretty good value, to be honest.
Do consider having a little look at it if you enjoy listening to what we do. But boys, we can Sewaddle into the community day chat. It is over to Masterful 27.
Look at the smile on his face, Milo, as well. Look at it.
But I think it's a smile of slight grief, because this will be the last time he can talk about Sewaddle.
I know, he's going to have to pick a new favourite after today, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Or maybe not, Ian. Team Sewaddle forever. Like Team Vikings forever.
Team Sewaddles.
Yeah. And Ian's like Team Jets forever, aren't you, Ian?
No, I'm not a Jets fan. I'm a Giants fan that's had money on the Jets.
Why did you have money on the Jets, Ian? That's bad. Look, that's bad, Ian. Bad, Ian. Oh, Ian. I thought you were a Jets fan.
No, Giants. Supported the Giants since I first started watching American football back in the, I think, late 80s, early 90s. Always been a Giants fan.
Well, good luck for your season. Ours will probably start wobbling in a little bit. They don't normally go 5-0. I don't think they've ever gone 5-0 in the time I've followed them.
Your defence was actually getting really bad. It was getting really rocky, actually, towards the end of that game.
Oh, well, the Packers game was even more. Sorry, Milo. Anyway.
I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Ian, we almost could do it an NFL podcast. We've got it here. We know what we're doing, Ian. Brits talking American football.
Mark's defence stat was
I'm
not
actually
15.
talking football, and Milo doesn't know what I'm talking about.
I know. This is brilliant. Milo's like, planes?
Yeah.
Milo's going,
I like the
Tottenham
F-16.
Stadium?
Tottenham Stadium.
Tottenham Stadium. I know it's a location.
We'll talk about new locations. We were at the War Memorial Park in Coventry on Saturday just gone. Of course, it was Sewaddle Community Day, and it was just nice for us all to be together. Like I think we've said this many a time before, when we come together, that sounded awful.
Sewaddling together. Let's go with that.
When we all join each other together.
Yes, Sue, Giants fan.
Oh, bless you.
Ian likes big people.
Yeah, big people. Big people. I don't know where this is going.
I really don't know where that's going.
We all came together anyway in Coventry for Sewaddle Community Day, and we met with some great people that joined us there. We had Cisco was there, or I am Prius. We had for the first time actually in a little while, CC's Mad joined us. Thank you down. Yeah. It was lovely for us all to be together. And we also had Spindiana, who also contributes with Kitty Pokemons a lot on their Pokemon platform.
Yeah, he's a writer for Go Hub, Chris.
Go Hub.
Yep.
So it was nice, in a new area. It was a beautiful place, big park, lovely day. And we spent, a good part of it eating cake and toasties. But we jest. It was just lovely to sort of play the game in the way it's intended, with good friends, good conversations, and very little need to have our head in the game all the time, with the exception of myself, obviously, being my favourite Pokemon. So, guys, what are the highlights from Sewaddle Community Day? I mean, there were very few, but other than the one that we've spoken about.
I don't know, that little cafe was quite nice.
It's a bit dear for a toasty, to be fair.
You know what? Actually, yeah, let's go there. £8.50 for basically,
London.
yeah, like
London
grilled cheese.
cafes aren't that expensive.
£8.50 for grilled cheese and like 5 crisps was kind of a bit steep.
Yeah, it is, to be fair. But they do call Coventry Little London of the Midlands.
Little London. It's just that one bistro in the park.
Yeah.
The coffee was quite nice, though.
It was quite nice,
yeah.
and I enjoyed as Ian described it on the day, a Sewaddle muffin.
It did look like Sewaddle, didn't it?
It didn't give me any kind of funky effects, Ian, I'm afraid.
No, it's because it was in Coventry, not Amsterdam.
Ah, okay. But it was delicious.
Yeah, I didn't see the angle that you two were like seeing familiarities on, but when I watched back the vlogs, I could see it. I could see Sewaddle in your
It
muffin.
looked like it, didn't it, with the little...
It was like wrapped
wrapper,
up.
yeah.
It had a little mouth on it as well, didn't it, Ian?
I don't know what Ian did to create that sort of face on it.
Yeah.
I'm still devastated that you didn't sit in the chair we put out specially for you.
Yeah, they put Milo's high chair out for him, and he just looked at it and went, I'm not sitting at the big person table, didn't he, Ian? It was a bit...
So I want to sit at the kids' table.
Yeah.
Actually, that was you, actually. You went to the kids' table. Aren't you going to sit with us? You're like, yeah, okay, then.
I forgot that Ian had actually planned it perfectly. We got a table that adequately seated all of us. I thought we were...
I can't take credit. The Italian did that.
Really?
Yeah. I was still confused by the numbering system for tickets.
I was as well. Like a 38 called out before 2. It was unique, wasn't it? But no, so I enjoyed Sewaddle Community Day. We've had to talk about the Pokemon new shiny family to the game. There will be people that will see it as like a Weedle sort of com day and probably not overly excited by it. But at least this time they were brand new. It isn't a common spawn. It's obviously been involved in bug out events and that in the past, but.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice to see it come out and actually be a half decent shiny as well. I was pleased to get rid of some of my old eggs, caught a hatch distance on a couple of incubators, finished with a half decent number of shinies, a couple of lucky trades with a couple of guys that met up with us. Talk about these lucky trades that sit there for a long time. Well,
yes,
those were a couple of lucky trades I've had sat there percolating, as Zoe would say, for best part of 2 years.
Percolating, I love that word.
Great word. For Schlundo, Sewaddle eluded me this time around, but I'm sure now plenty of people have got them in their storage, I hope. I'll be trading them with them over the next year or two if ever we meet at live events.
Everybody needs to make sure Mark gets a Schlundo Sewaddle.
Yeah.
That's the new goal.
But for me, the highlight for all of us was one I missed was you all got an XXS Hundo Sewaddle. That was
it was in the very first cluster of Mons that we found.
It was literally the third thing I checked on the day. It was my first catch.
And I didn't even appraise it, so we both called like, XXS, this isn't going to win anything. I think we both commented the same thing. This isn't going to win any prizes. And we didn't appraise it then. We sat around having coffee. We're like, oh, it's a 4-star.
And I was like, Hundo, which actually, shout out, I think it was CC is Mad, picked it up as a Hundo XXS Aaron, which it was before it switched over to Sewaddle Community, which is obviously drastically worse because you can now get the tiny Hundo Mega, which I told him at the time. But it was a really, really fun and quite a silly day. And I think we made the comment, or Ian said to me, has there ever been a community day where you've spent the first hour of it basically not moving and just sat down having a coffee and eating a muffin or whatever? No, this was a first for me because, how many shinies do you need of this thing? Obviously, as many as you need to transfer to Mark. But I don't know, it was just a really amusing day. Lots and lots of giggles and jokes flying around. We ended up running daily incense for the majority of the remainder of the com day. Was it like 2 hours?
Nearly 2 hours.
We said half an hour to start with. You just kept adding on. Yeah, it's another 12 minutes. Yeah, sure. I can't add 18
and
minutes.
Somebody kept I need to save my candy. I'm going to need them next week. And we're like, no, come on, another 20 minutes.
Let's keep using them. Yeah. Got a lot of shiny Sewaddle off it, which is really nice.
He said that, did he? He was like, I need to be more conservative. And as we were letting ours run down, he went, 12 minutes again, lads? Yeah.
I just got the boat.
There was certainly one point when he goes, right, okay, we're going to keep this going. We're going to keep this going.
Might as well keep it rocking and rolling for the whole day. But What Memorial Park was actually really nice.
It was a nice park. It was
a really good spot. Shout out to Lachlan, who spotted it on... It was his drive down from you.
We didn't take full
London.
Advantage of it because when we first got there, one of the first things that Mark said to me, "Oh, there's an Avery here. We're going to have to check that out." Not once did we go anywhere near it because we just kept doing the outer loop of the park the whole time.
We didn't actually go. Oh yeah, we said at the time we should.
Well, look, when we were looking at the map of the park, because we've got a park where we live with an Avery in it, and I was given that very simple instruction as I was on my way to Coventry was, compare the Averys. Is it better than our one? And when I got home, just pleased to get back. Cause it was a
good 2 hour drive for you, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, just over 2 hours. And first thing that I was asked when I got back in was, "Oh yeah, what was the Avery like?" And I went, "Didn't even see it."
We wouldn't have seen the rose garden if I hadn't gone. Oh, B-roll,
yes. We saw some flowers.
Yeah. So I don't know. Nice. We just saw some painted birds, didn't we, from afar? But we didn't actually see.
Ian saw a very different kind of bird.
Yes, Ian, you did.
Well, I did, and I mean, I suppose for anybody having that sort of look, because I don't have good shiny luck. Like the gods, Arceus was smiling on me on Saturday, and it never happens. So to get the shiny G-Bird, the shiny Articuno G-Bird, there are no words. It was monumental. It was unexpected, and you both had to look really happy for me, which I know you both were.
Yeah.
And then after it sunk in, I could see that Whitfield was going, "I want one."
Of course I want one.
That's why I
said, let's keep going. Let's keep the roar of time going. But it was very, very ecstatic because that by far and away was the best catch of the whole day. It did outdo the XXS Hundo, of course.
It was the catch of the day. And I've got to admit, I agree with everything. And I can't really add anything to what you two have said. The day, sorry, Mark, I'm going to say this, wasn't about Sewaddle. The three of us together, it was probably the most fun community day I've had in a really long time. And I'm even including Chipping Norton in that one, which we had a ball at. But it was probably like the most fun community day we've had because we didn't take anything seriously. We were just joking, laughing. Sewaddle was pretty much an afterthought. I've never sat down, and I like to take things chill. I've never sat down in a coffee shop on a community day and spent an hour having a coffee. I've come close before, but we really weren't even looking at the clock, if memory serves correctly.
I think we literally decided to just go and get a coffee.
If it wasn't for Francesca going,
minutes.
"Oh, we need to go," we'd have still been there 2 hours later, I'm sure.
I'm not sure about me, but
Ian, I was twitching at the bit a little bit. That's why I only had a bit of cake. I was going, "All right, come on."
Of course, it's Mark's
ordered cake. We ordered food. We ordered that grilled cheese.
a very expensive toasty.
Which
Goodness
was
me.
a
You're right,
nice
Ian,
grilled
though.
cheese, but I'm telling you, it was not worth the money. It wasn't worth the
No,
money.
not worth
I
£8.
worked out it cost me nearly 20 quid for a grilled cheese, 5 crisps, a little bit of garnish on the side, a piece of millionaire shortbread, and a coffee.
I love when Ian goes to the 5 crisps. I think that's like the best bit
It
of
was though. It was. I mean, I know we're not talking about Pokemon right now, which is kind of our thing, but this was so weird. They gave you like a third of a bag of crisps on the side of this.
At best.
Yeah, like, of all things, it's just really weird.
Just give me a bag of Walker's Lay's crisps or something.
Right,
you know,
we've got 3 orders for toasties, so we're going to get 1 bag of crisps and divvy them up.
out.
3 piles. Here you go.
I said, because I hadn't eaten anything on the way up, and I just did the driving one because the traffic was awful on the way up. But hey, it is what it is. Saturday com days, heading to the cities, you know, it's you do have that sort of risk. But like even I said to Ian, I was like, yeah, we'll go to the canteen a bit. I just want to grab a chocolate bar, just give myself a little bit of energy, you know, and then we'll get going. And when I went in there and saw like chocolate was like £1.50 to £2 or £1.50 to £1.80, I went,
No.
nah. I'm all right with that, thank you. I will pay over the odds for a bit of cake and a coffee. Thank you.
Yeah.
But other highlights, I got my shiny Zamazenta, which I was
You
absolutely
did. Just
Yes,
before the
you
event
did.
started, yeah.
over the moon with that one.
Francesca got the shiny Entai.
Feather Entai,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
So we all got something other than the shiny Sewaddle, didn't we, on the day?
No,
Ian?
Whitfield didn't.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Ian.
No, I saw a Galarian Articuno. That was it. That's why I probably was like, let's keep the Daily Incense going, because my second spawn on Daily Incense was a Galarian Articuno. And it's a good job I said, let's keep it going, because otherwise you wouldn't have got your shiny.
Yes, that's very true.
So are we saying then that Milo's the reason, Ian, that you got your shiny?
No, RNG is, but Milo's the reason I had the chance of getting it.
Milo played a little bit of a multiplier in the RNG game.
Milo can't claim credit for my shiny G-Bird. No, that's not where we're going with this. No.
Dear God. I think the best thing, though, is that your shiny Galarian bird will forever have the tag caught
Coventry.
on Sewaddle Community Day.
Yes, right at the very bottom. Yes.
Does he say that on it, Ian?
It will
Does he
have the
actually
event
say-
tag.
Brilliant. So we'll do a deal, Ian, that when I get my shiny Galarian Articuno, we'll trade them so I can have the one with Sewaddle on it.
Oh, you need to get one for Sewaddle Comday Classic. That's what.
Yes, Sewaddle
Do you really think
Classic.
Swaddle's going to get a CDC? I somehow doubt it.
Wait
I
84
somehow
years.
think it won't as well, Ian, but this game's got a roadmap, and in 2047, when they're
dead,
looking
yeah.
at...
On one of the very far dead end tangents, there is Sewaddle Comday Classic.
All right, Milo, don't be so descriptive on the dead endness of that tangent. Thank you very much, Sunshine.
The Deadpool. And
If Weedle gets a 2.0, I'd like to think Sewaddle will get a
Oh
2.0.
dear God, let's not have Weevil 2.0.
don't manifest that. Please don't manifest it.
No.
The other thing I would say actually is I enjoyed the day so much of just catching Sewaddle, not really paying attention and just having a laugh with you guys. It was a really nice sunny day. I completely forgot to evolve. I didn't want to evolve the XXS Hundo, to be fair. I think I'll max that as a level 50 Sewaddle Hundo just for the lols. But I didn't evolve the shiny because it just didn't cross my mind. It was just a really, really amusing day. And I think that's what we always say is if it's a bit of a dead com day, playing it with some friends and having a laugh is going to make it seem way more of an actual worthwhile time than if you just went, right, it's Sewaddle, I've got to go and catch some.
Totally. So, November on the road again?
We will talk about November and what it is very soon.
It's got like a Low and Geodude vibes about it, hasn't it?
It really
November.
does have a Lowland Geodude vibes about it. November does. But maybe more.
Perhaps more. We'll chat off of recording, but Sewaddle Com Day, Marky, kick us off. What are you going to give it out of 10?
When I rate these events, I listened back to an old event about Sino Tour Global a couple of weeks ago. When me and Ian scored the event, I made a big point that I score it about the experience around the actual event,
yeah.
and Ian was very, very true and says, "Well, I score it around the event, not necessarily what's going on around it." So, my resolution is I'm going to keep doing the same moving forward. So we'll give it a chance of bumping the score up as well. Granted, but no, I mean, for me, like it's Community Day. It's autumn. It's October. It's the last proper one before it gets dark as we sort of encroach into Community Day hours. It was a Saturday, which was lovely. We're in a new part of the world. We got to Coventry the day.
And we got out in one piece.
and we left it before it went dusk.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
which is the only way you can get out of Coventry usually intact. So that was a bonus.
Well, you must not leave Coventry
Yeah.
after nightfall.
But no, I mean, like, it was a great Pokemon. Like, we do jest about it. It is a meme for me, and it will very much always have a place in my heart. But I'll attach myself to another Pokemon in the near future, and then we'll start this whole cycle again. But Sewaddle did what I wanted it to do. I think it was probably a driving factor why we all did something for it. Got out, did it, brilliant. For me, lovely weather, overpriced food, almost free car parking, and,
Yes.
and Ian getting what he did. It is a lovely, sparkly blue bird. They're all memories that I will attach with it. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, probably my most enjoyable community day this year, if I'm being honest, from all the ones we had. So you can never give anything a 10 because there will always be an opportunity to improve it, But because I got my shiny Zamazenta as well at the very beginning, and we all had such a laugh, I'm going to give it a very, very solid 9 for Sewaddle Community Day.
That's how it is. And I think, Marky, I've actually just thought of what your replacement Mon could be. It's a 3-stager. It's another grass-type Pokemon, and it probably will get a com day in like a million years' time, but Smoliv.
I can work with that. That's my new favourite one. Smoliv. All the way Smoliv. Smoliv the olive in Barcelona.
Smoliv the olive, and then we should go to like an olive growth. Yeah, that'd be great.
Madrid.
Madrid, Greece, Italy. Choices are endless. It's a tough one for me because it was a really good day, but a lot of it was about you guys. Yes, in the past I have said I scored the event on the event, so I'm really torn on this one.
So on that basis, -2.
Yeah. 4.
Sewaddle, yes, it's a meme Pokemon. Yes, we know you have an affection for it, Marky.
An infection.
But it's not the most exciting Pokemon. It really isn't the most exciting Pokemon. And reactions were very mixed about the community today. I enjoyed it because I knew we'd have a laugh, as we always do when we get together and create content.
Definitely.
So, God, I sound like Alan Sugar. Yeah, I sound like Alan Sugar. Overall, a 7, I think, because it wasn't the best one, but there were elements that pulled it up for me. And 6 points are probably for the G-Bird.
And 1 point for being with us.
So yeah,
he's actually lost a point for Sewaddle.
It's definitely not a 9 event for me, but I think 7's reasonable for what we were given.
Yeah, and I'm going to go smack bang in between you guys and give it an 8 out of 10 because it was a new shiny. It's always fun to pick up those new shinies, but I tend to base things off of the event and the experience and playing the day with you guys. It was a really sunny, lovely day. The people who joined them, CCS Mad and Spindiana, was also really good fun. Just sort of hang out.
And the Eevee guy.
Francesco as well. And the Eevee guy, who didn't actually catch his name, but it was
Eevee guy, thanks for joining us.
He did say Eevee guy, didn't he?
It was a little small kind of crew for this one. And it was really just good vibes, really fun day. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for the whole experience, I would say.
Well, that's what I was going to say. And when we talk about community days, we obviously talk about loads of shinies. So I think it's probably only fitting that we go into our favourite section at the start of the show.
Good man.
Shinies of the week.
I'm going to jump in straight away with one from our Patreon and Discord. This is from Gold Tier member, Mr. Mossum.
What tier?
He's in the chat with us right now. Gold Tier. And this is very, very good catch. So he managed to bag himself a shiny 98% Zamazenta. Hashtag Shinies of the Week. Got this yesterday. Only my 5th raid. Well happy. I think damn right so. Big congrats, dude. That's one hell of a catch.
That's a good catch, GG's. I'm going to jump in next with one. Actually, I'm going to jump in next with 2 from our campfire group, the Instance Campfire group. They're both from the same person, so I count this as one technically. Mama Glass 1977 says, "Hi boys, I hope you're all doing great. I wanted to show off my hashtag Shinies of the Week. My first shiny Drudigon, and that is a really good one. It's 96% IVs.
Oh, nice.
Shiny Drudigon. And a Shadow Shiny Machop. My first Shadow Shiny Machop also. So GG's Mama Glass.
Nice.
Well, I think I'm going to trump all of that from X because Matt at Pokémon GO and Matt has posted all to us on X and says, kicking off the week with my rarest ever hatch. Yes, a Shundo, may I add, a Shundo Larvesta hatched. Oh,
that's one hell of a hatch.
Days, 855 CP, shiny Shundo Larvesta. Oh,
nice.
Thank you, Matt, for using hashtag Shinies of the Week so we could pick that one up.
Nice.
Well done.
That's absolutely incredible.
Nice.
Anybody else?
Nice.
Well, you're the one with the soundboard to hand.
Nice.
Everybody's
one for
liking
us
that
now.
one.
Nice.
That's a winner, definitely the winner. Do we have any more?
Well, I've got one here. Thomas at 96 Tom L. OMG, 2 Galarian bird encounters, and one of them is shiny. I was in complete shock at encountering the Articuno itself. Luckily, I had at Incensed podcast running during my playtime. Hashtag Shinies of the Week. So he clearly ran a bit of Aurora time. Good stuff. 90 Pokemon caught. 5 kilometers walked. Galarian Articuno regular was caught, but a shiny Galarian Zapdos was also caught. And I'm a really big fan of the shiny Zapdos, the Galarian form. So big congrats, Tom. Those 2 incredible catches.
Yep, that's incredible. GG's. I've got one here from Albert Nav VGK. Stopped by the ninjas for a pit stop before daily incense and got a magic driveway shiny. Hashtag Shiners of the Week. And I love this shiny. I got one of these recently too. It's the shiny Absol.
Can't beat a shiny Absol.
GG's.
You can't beat it. You can't beat it at all. And we will round it out with one fitting around the community day. Mark Bailey has put, hope you had some good shinies and memories. Didn't get much chance to play, but biked around the park for an hour with the Go Plus on. Luckily, I got a phone call and there was an XXL nearby that at hand. I caught it, only later to find it's a Jumbo Hundo, the opposite of what you boys
Jumbo
got.
Hundo.
Hashtag Shiners of the Week with the Jumbo Hundo to go with your tiny hundos. Well done.
Nice.
Well done, Mark.
It's a Jahundo.
Nice.
A Johundo. And if you're there to witness it, a Johundo witness Milo.
Jahundo witness.
Brilliant. Great shinies. Oh,
fantastic.
great.
There are tons more because everyone's having a really good time with obviously the Com Day and the events going on. There were so many more. Thank you everybody who's posting using hashtag Shinies of the Week. Please continue to do so. We can't get through all of them in every single show, but we do see them. So big congrats on your wins for this week.
We definitely check them all out.
We really do. And there are so many platforms, as we mentioned at the top of the show. Get in contact with us and let us know your catches while listening to our podcast. It's why the podcast is named Incensed Podcast.
Yeah, it's not
with
because
the Galarian birds.
Time.
The Galarian bird shiny update has just given us a big win for damn sure. But I think it's time, boys, to ask a very mediocre question.
Just tell me about you, mate. Just what's going on?
And it's mediocre for a very good reason. I want to see if a Pokemon-themed question gets some good traction on social media. So, boys, quite a simple one here. If you had to give yourself a Pokemon typing, what are you going to choose and why? And it can be a mono, solo typing, or pick a dual typing. And I think I already know at least one of the options that Ian is going to be picking.
Do you, Whitfield?
Definitely rock.
Yeah, partial to a bit of rock.
He likes a bit of rock music.
Like a bit of rock. Better than Duff Duff, definitely.
That's not a typing.
Duff Duff isn't a typing, no.
Duff typing.
If I had to, again, this is a question that really I should have put some thought into, but you know what?
It's all right. I don't think any of us did. So it's
no. So, yes, I can't really say I wouldn't pick water type because we all know that is my favourite typing and it's also part of my name. So we're going to have to go water, but I would also throw in a second typing of dark because sometimes I do go to a dark place.
So what Grantham is?
It is. It's got a constant cloud over it.
So Ian is a Crawdund.
Yeah,
or
pretty
Sharpedo.
much, actually, yeah.
Oh, he's a great white shark, so Sharpedo. There you go.
Oh, I could be a Sharpedo then.
There you go. The great white Sharpedo. There we go. Sue in the chat. Absolutely. A dark water type, or a water dark type, sorry, for Vasa. Marky Are you going to be the same typing as Sewaddle?
No. That's far too predictable, Milo. But
Ooh.
my Pokemon typing, I'm a bit of a contradiction some of the time, and the reason I've picked these typings, dual typings as well, is one that when it gets like cold and in the winter time, I like to be just huddled up and just keep low down and just like stay away from the world. And I've also got a fascination. If I had a super pad, I'd like to go and soar in the skies and see the world going around. So my Pokemon typings would be similar to Landorus on Floaty Cloud or Gligar on Gliscor, Landorus Alpha. But I would be a flying stroke ground type Pokemon.
Okay.
So there you go, buddy.
Element of flying for travel, but also keeping things grounded.
Keep it on the down low, my friend. Keep it on the down low.
So, are you going to go fairy type?
No, I wasn't actually. I was going to go along the lines of how I'm sort of feeling at the moment and how it tends to go with podcast edits. So I like to think I'm a little bit more relaxed and like to sort of venture outside quite a lot. So I'm going to pick myself to be a grass type. I thought you might pick
grass type. Grass type.
Grass type.
Yeah.
To pick to start with, but I'm also going to team that with a
fire.
He likes destruction, doesn't he, Ian?
I was going to pick it with how I sort of felt towards the end of today after the 24-hour grind, and how I tend to feel after the podcast. Ghost type. A grass ghost type for me, which I think is Phantom or.
You do look like Phantom.
Or
do you know what,
after
Ian?
Today, yes.
I reckon if he ages the way of thinking, he'll look like a shiny Phantom, won't he, Ian? Do you reckon?
That's a whole other silver.
Milo is Decidui. Oh, I like that.
Decidui. That could work. And Pumpkabunda.
Ian's the Great White Sharpedo. Love that.
Sue would be a fairy type.
And Mark's a Gligar.
So what type do we think, if Sue's going to be a fairy type, what type do we think Francesco would be?
He'd be an Italian, that's not a type, is it? I picked the colours of the Italian flag, red, white, and, no, that's France, isn't it? Green, red, and white. He'd be a grass and fire type, I reckon, Francesco. Grass and fire.
There is a Gen 9 Pokemon that's grass fire.
Yeah, grass fire.
Francesco is Gengar.
Yeah.
No,
last
he liked
time I
Gengar,
checked, it wasn't a grass
Gengar,
type.
but he couldn't be Gengar.
Oh, Scovillian.
Is that it? Yes.
Scovillian, yeah.
Barside.
Mr. Mime. So you're psychic fairy, are you? Interesting.
Yeah, Francesco's Gengar. Cuddly, but could be very scary at the same time, like that. Gengar.
Pure
Calling
fear.
Francesco a glass cannon.
Glass cannon.
There's worse things to be called.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, Scovillian. Yes. Scovillian looks evil. Oh my goodness.
It's basically a Pokemon that has like two chili peppers as its heads.
Two chili peppers.
Oh, they red hot
green
chili
one
peppers.
and a red one.
One's
Yeah.
green and red. Yeah, exactly. Very
Ooh.
funky. Anyway, what we're going to do is put that onto social media. I'm excited to hear what people think theirs could be.
Yes.
Get involved with the Pokemon chat. But, Ian, we had some absolutely monstrous news drop just after last week's recording.
We did, and I know the three of us are gutted because we cannot jump on a plane in November, but it's time for some.
It is. It's the news.
Yes, this week's news, it's big news. It's big news. It's another major event in the Pokemon GO calendar. This one hits, it's November. It is creeping up on us. It is definitely not too far away. This will run as a live in-person event in Fukuoka, Japan. I see why you gave me that one to read out. On Saturday, November the 16th and Sunday, November the 17th. And there will also be a global wild area event the following weekend, the 23rd and 24th of November. Now, tickets for the Japanese Fukuoka wild area event, early access has sold out. Don't even think about that. But the general admission tickets will be available to purchase soon. They will be 3,600 yen. And as with everything, you get to pick whether you want the morning park experience or the afternoon park experience. The park experience will run between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. lunchtime, Japanese standard time, I think that is, JST. And there is a city experience as well, kind of like we've become accustomed to in the last couple of years, which will run from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you want the afternoon park experience, the afternoon park experience starts at 1 p.m. and will run till 5 p.m. So you get a 4-hour section in the park regardless. But the city experience generally is where, I think historically we found that's where it's at for most places.
There is more information being released through the next couple of weeks, but something that dropped literally yesterday is the return of 2 very, very cool costume Pikachus. Popstar and Rockstar Pikachu are back in the game for this event for the first time since 2021, and for the first time ever, they will be shiny eligible, which is real nice to see. And they are teamed with a Snorlax with a leather jacket on it.
It looks pretty
as
cool.
well. So
the Snorlax looks amazing.
Yeah,
that is definitely one I'll be raiding for.
Definitely looks good. So there's going to be some good costume Pokemon featured in this event. However, there is a brand new Pokeball, which is the Safari or the Go Safari balls. They're going to be highly effective Pokeballs that make capturing Pokemon much easier, including when you encounter mighty Pokemon. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge to later. So the Pokeballs are sort of exclusive to the event. So once the event has ended, they will not remain in your bag. So you have to use them up during the course of this event.
And I've seen people moaning about that, but it makes sense, doesn't it? They're event-specific.
They Go Safari.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as a Premier Ball. You don't get to keep your Premier Balls at the end of the raid
Absolutely.
battle. It kind of makes sense to me. But something else, and this was on the trailer and it's on the poster everywhere, Toxtricity and Dynamax Toxtricity make their Pokemon Go debut. This will include both forms of Toxtricity. So it's a brand new Pokemon and its pre-evolution will make a feature. It will be shiny potential and the Dynamax variant is coming in. And the event is themed around the typing of this Pokemon with electric and poison. So that's kind of setting up what's coming up with the event.
So with this event, we've also got the introduction of something called Mighty Pokemon. Yes, this year's Pokemon Go Wild area will have plenty of electric and poison type Pokemon. But no, do not panic. That is not all.
Panic or no?
No. Now, trainers are going to have the opportunity to have encounters with unusually powerful opponents known as Mighty Pokemon. And all Mighty Pokemon have some shared traits. They're more likely to have a high attack, defense, and HP ratings. So maybe we'll have a higher base stat rate on this, possibly. Yeah. Who knows? Who said 13, 13, 13? It'll probably be 12, 12, 12, but let's see. More likely to be XL or XXL. And they will be more difficult to capture. I hope they would be more difficult to capture. More difficult than a Galarian shiny bird, hey? Who knows? But,
please no.
Please no. But trainers might also have the opportunity to encounter shiny versions of these mighty Pokemon if they are lucky. And you can use the new Go Safari Ball when trying to capture these Pokemon. That will give you a better chance of securing them. Yes, as we've said, there are other things as well, including legendary Pokemon. It's a little feel. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but origin forms.
It's a good thing, I would say.
And Palkia are going to reappear in raids during this event. And trainers with the active Go Wild area ticket for either event. That includes the citywide in Fukuoka, is it? Fukuoka, that's it, isn't it? We'll have the chance of encountering these Pokemon. On top of that, they will come with their signature attacks, or they may come, I should say, with their signature attacks, which is Origin Form Dialga, knowing the Charge Attack Roar Time, and Origin Form Palkia, knowing the Charge Attack Spatial Rend. Oh, these are the good ones, aren't they?
These are the ones that were released at Sinnoh Tour.
Ignore me. I thought they were the other ones that looked a bit boring in comparison. No, this is amazing news. This is
what we always say is things eventually cycle back around.
And these have come out really quickly. If you think February, and they're going to come back in November, so that's 9 months, which is very quick for these to come back.
I'm going to get to build up some more resources for these Pokemon.
Yeah, but a lot of people didn't get the signature moves back at Sinnoh Tor, so people will have another chance at getting Roar of Time and Spatial Rend because they're valuable Pokemon to have.
Yeah, and you still won't be able to get Roar of Time or Spatial Rend via any form of TM, so you have to get it from the raid.
Or a trade.
Tony TM?
Raid or a trade.
Tony TM.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
You should know he's the authority on TMs.
He is the authority. But that's great news. And obviously, having just get this Pokemon with those moves again, if you haven't got them, is fantastic.
Yes.
I've got them confused. This is hype. This is flipping brilliant.
I'm excited because I never got the shiny Origin Form Dialga, despite reading it stupidly back when I was in LA. So
they were hard.
That is what I'm going to be going for. I finally did get the Palkia. I think Whitfield got both of them. I think most people got both of them, but
yeah,
my RNG was just in the gutter during Sinnoh Tour, so I will be going hard for the Dialga.
But Ian, you've got a shiny Galarian bird, haven't you?
Yeah, well, that's past now.
No,
it's in the past.
No, I mean, yeah, I think it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting that the last episode of the show I listened to you guys talking about those awful rates. Well, let's hope they're better for this one, and hopefully, we'll get those shinies. Definitely.
It is. So, as Whitfield said at the beginning of this article, the two types that will be focused on during this event are electric and poison type. So, the spawns that you can expect for this event are, well, our little mon that we did a road trip for, a Lowland Geodude.
The one that's been making a lot of features recently, Magnemite.
Yeah, we like our blue balls, Voltorb.
Yep, or the black ball, Hisuian Voltorb.
Electabuzz.
Yeah, Milo's favourite nest, Electrike.
Yep, the one that I think we're all sick of, bless it, is cute little Pokemon though, Shinx.
Blitzel.
This one's even smaller, but probably just as annoying, Joltik.
And, oh bless it, Tynamo just doesn't get any love.
And rightly so. The Unovan Stunfisk.
And the sunburnt helicopter, Helioptile.
And all of those, I believe, can be shiny. Now, moving on to the poison types that will be spawning during the wild area events. Well, it looks like we're definitely back to Kanto, boys. It's Pokemon number 1, Bulbasaur.
Pokemon number 2 is still Kanto, Bellsprout.
Pokemon number 3, as if it's high or low on the dex, is Tentacle.
Spinarak will be spawning.
It's the thing that was in Mark's shed.
Yes. The blue one.
Paldean Wooper will make an appearance.
I like Quillfish. That's going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're lucky, you're going to get a shiny Hisuian Quillfish. Now, that is actually quite nice in the silvery grey.
That's a good
bit
shiny.
like me, actually.
It is you as a pufferfish, Ian. Skorupi is featured.
And everyone's favourite sober Pokemon, Krogunk.
Yep, Venipede will be spawning.
Skrelp.
And probably one that people are going to chase because it's still relatively new, a Marini. They can all be shiny as well, from what it looks like.
Nice. Now, moving on to the new additions. Mighty Pokemon will be introduced during this event. And, well, they're pretty mighty. They're evolved forms, and these are what you can expect, maybe, to see. They will be tougher to catch, so you might want to use your Safari balls. You saw where I was going there, didn't you, with the terminology?
Yes.
Venusaur.
Pidgeot.
Poliwrath.
Golem.
Gyarados.
Dragonite.
Snorlax wearing the heavy metal studded jacket. It's a leather jacket, by the way. Yeah.
Very cool.
It is.
Frealigator.
Oh, I wish Ampharos had a studded jacket on, but no, it hasn't. Just Ampharos.
I know, a lot of the Pokemon don't get costumes, which is a shame, really. They should all be wearing leather jackets. Luxray.
Garchomp.
Electivire.
Mamoswine.
Scolipede. Oh, dear.
Galvantula, which is also in my shed as I look across the room.
Yeah, I think you might even have an Electros in your room, actually, Mark.
He definitely doesn't have a Drowgouge in his shed.
Nice pronunciation, Milo. A Drowgouge. That's very good.
That's probably wrong.
No, it sounds better than I would have said. Tyrantrum.
Toxapex.
And finally, Overquill, which actually you can't get unless you have a Hisuian Quillfish as your buddy and do 10 raids with it, I think.
Who's got time for that?
Your mighty Pokemon are there. Fantastic. So the raid tiers are split. So as it seems at the moment, both in Japan and the global wild areas, you're going to be able to find the 4-star raids, which have the epic raid logo on them. Toxtricity Amped form and Toxtricity Low Key form are featured. And in the 5-star raids Mark mentioned earlier, both the origin forms or Palkia and the Alga. However, on the global page, for now, there are also 3-star raids. On the Saturday, you'll be finding Snorlax wearing the studded jacket, Luxray and Scolipede. And on the Sunday, you'll be finding the Snorlax again, plus the Venusaur and Electivire featured. And across both events as well, you will have the Dynamax Max battles for Toxtricity, both the amped and the low-key forms. They can be shiny, which is real nice.
That is very nice indeed. So there are other features and event bonuses as well. This event, we wouldn't expect anything less, would we? So the other features include an increased chance of encountering shiny Pokemon. Yes, you will increase that increased chance of encountering. God, if you didn't have that, you would play it, would you? Let's be honest. So, and that's when you're in the wild and using the incense, of course. We recommend you do that. Listen to the podcast as well. Collection challenges. Level up your elite collector medal by completing collection challenges. And there'll be, Go Snapshot. Forget about this every flipping time. Go Snapshot. Take some snapshots. That'll be 5. Whilst you explore for a surprise encounter. Or maybe it'll be 3. Maybe it'll be 1. Who knows? They do vary on these events. And we've also got field researchers. And if you spin Pokestops to collect event-exclusive field research tasks, you can earn rewards. And there are also bonuses, exclusive bonuses, I should say, which we've just spoken about there, just with a different graphic on it. Some of them are repeated. But the other ones that you've got are half-hatch distance for eggs placed in incubators during the event. Lure modules activated will last for 2 hours. There will be special 10-kilometer eggs, which will drop 3 out of every 10 you get, or 3 out of every 9. And there'll be 2 times catch candy.
Ooh.
And if you do attend in person, I should say attendees will receive the following bonuses and rewards between 12 and 11:59 anywhere in Fukuoka on their ticketed day. And during the citywide gameplay add-on day, they will get up to 9 total raid passes for spinning photo discs at gyms. Up to 6 special trades can be made on your ticketed day, no matter where you are in Fukuoka. That's good. And reduced Stardust cost for making those trades, which is obviously cool. There's featured attacks as well.
We don't talk about attacks or battle power or that sort of thing.
All I'm going to say is Feraligatr gets one of us. All we need to say about that.
Okay, so moving on. The Global Wild Area event, we've already talked about, will be the week after the live in-person one, so the 23rd and 24th of November. The event hours on this one, slightly away from the norm. This will start at 10 a.m. local time, and it will run through till 6:15 p.m. local time in the evening.
It's a weird, extra 15 minutes.
Yeah, you get a little bit more. It almost goes up to 11. But with this event, the ticket for it, which you can buy from the Pokemon GO web store, is £11.99, or the equivalent in your local currency. And it can be gifted if you're feeling generous. And looking at the gameplay, it's pretty much a carbon copy of the live event with a few slight differences.
Mm-hmm.
And those differences pretty much come down to scanning through the article, The Mighty Pokemon. So with the Mighty Pokemon, on the Saturday, you can expect to see Pidgeot,
Golem,
Gyarados.
Gary.
Gary Doss, two Garys, Luxray,
Scolipede.
Yep, you want me to find it in my shed again. Galvantula.
One of my favourites. It's gorgeous. Tyrantrum.
And Toxapex is a good shiny, actually, as well.
It is. I still need the Marini, let alone the Toxapex.
Looks good. Same here, Ian. But on Sunday, we have Make Up What You Want to this one, but we start with Venusaur.
Poliwrath.
And still in Kanto with Dragonite.
Very much out of Kanto, but down a similar pathway with Feraligatr.
Yeah, Electivire is in there.
Mamoswine.
I've probably got one of these chomping at my feet right now in my shed. Electros.
Ooh.
And as Whitfield pronounced beautifully earlier, probably wrong, but we don't care, it sounded good, Dragalge.
Call it Dragargle.
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 And if you're lucky, they are all shiny eligible. Do you know what, though, guys? I'm going to say it. I know we joke about this, but seeing fully evolved Pokemon in their shiny form is actually, even though they are old Pokemon, is a bit of a treat, isn't it?
It is. It's actually a surprisingly
Don't see it
good
often.
event perk.
Yeah. Before we move on and just give our thoughts on this, there will also be new avatar items. So trainers will be able
wow.
to get in the mood for Pokemon Go Wild Area 2024 with a new T-shirt in the avatar store.
They look happy. They look happy wearing it.
Yeah, it looks like quite a nice T-shirt.
Don't be drawn in, Milo. Don't be drawn in.
Sorry, I get drawn in. So you obviously have heard about how to get the Snorlax with what they're dubbing the studded jacket. So it's going to be available as a mighty Pokemon, but also in 3-star raid battles. The Popstar and Rockstar Pikachu during the global event, they'll probably be the same for Japan, but by completing special research collection challenges or by taking a Go snapshot during the event, that is how you're going to be able to obtain these costume Pikachu. And now, boys, we can finally say what we think about this event. Marky, what do you think? Are you feeling mighty with it?
I mean, listen, I'm going to say 3 things. 1, events play out very differently to what they look like on paper. We know that. So that's the first thing. 2, no one expected a November event like this. We don't normally get these in the calendar. We normally wait till tour starts, beginning of the new year. That's a bonus and a very nice opportunity to get people together before we all break up for Christmas and have that nice time if you celebrate it, but that nice part of the year, the following month. Chance for international friends to fly over and have rendezvous and see out what's been a fantastic year. They're the sort of things I love about these things. And does the event look good on paper? No, it doesn't. It doesn't look particularly great, but it has got some good points in it. The only thing that I'm very excited about is the brand new Pokemon coming in, and certainly coming in their shiny form. I think that's exciting. It's got Necrozma vibes about it in a weird way. Having Toxtricity jumping in there with a couple of forms. I think that's going to be fun. I always get annoyed with the way they release costume shinies into these events. I put them in the wild, just whack Snorlax
nice
in the wild, with his latex jacket on or studded thing or leather.
It's got to be faux leather, hasn't it, these days? It can't be real leather. It's got to be faux leather.
Yeah. Faux leather smoking jacket.
There's not that much budget for the event.
No, but I'm putting the Pikachus in the wild. Don't know what that's all about. Just whack them in the wild.
Dave in the wild.
Yeah, just put them in there. They did it with the Dawn's cap and the Santa cap and the Megan's cap and Sean's cigarette cap. You know what I mean? They're costume Pikachus. Whack them out there and just put them in the wild. Let them have a laugh. Because, the hourly spawns look awful, but that's for a day one player. I'm not looking at those hours going, I'm going to focus on that hour and that hour. And actually, I think that's quite nice because, how many times have we dictated when we're going to go and have a drink because of what spawns come out in that
every other hour?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This is nice. And I'm going to leave a few things in for you to pick up on about, but my parting shot on it will be Mighty Pokemon. What the hell's that gimmick all about? That's what I'm saying. Anyway, someone find something I've not spoken about.
Cascada.
Yes. So my take on this is it's certainly not a flagship event. Nothing will ever eclipse the Go Fest. And we get 4 of them a year now. So this certainly isn't a Go Fest. However, we have said so many times over the last few years that APAC needs another live event. And this potentially could be the APAC equivalent to what we get in the States with the tour events at the beginning of the year. So I actually quite like the idea of this because we can pretty much guarantee the tour is always going to be somewhere in the States. This wild area, should it run forward on a regular basis, and looking at it, I would say the plans are that this will be a regular, recurring event. Could be something for APAC, Japan, Australia, that sort of neck of the woods, which then leads me to think that really, are we going to get another big event to be slotted somewhere in the calendar for Europe to actually cover all different regions? But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself.
Maybe. I mean, the thing is, Go Wild could go anywhere, couldn't it?
It could really. But again, I think they're trying to counter the fact that you've got your 3 Go Fests and your global. You've got the tour that's always America and global. So this is just something to end the year with something in the sort of Eastern Hemisphere. I quite like the idea of it. It's nice to have it based around typings. Mark is right. A lot of the Pokemon don't look too exciting. But I love the introduction of the Safari Ball. I love to see what that really looks like when it is released. I like the idea of Mighty Pokemon, and it could be a new dynamic because it's something else that can be rolled out over a number of years. I'm quietly looking forward to this, I think.
I'm with you. I'm really with you. When I finally saw the event info and what was sort of jam-packed into it, I'm very much liking the look of it. Very interesting that they've gone with, it's a big Dynamax release, actually, as was theorized when a lot of us were talking about this Go Wild event from way back when they announced the whole season. Like, what could Go Wild be? Like, well, Dynamax release. Toxtricity is, I think, in that sort of region is quite a big thing and a big deal. It's got different forms. The other thing that was noted was Toxpex, so I can't remember, it's Prevolution, I think, will be hatching out of 10-kilometer eggs as a shiny. A Toxel, that's it. Toxel is what I think it's called. So that's something else. But quality looking event, to be honest. I really like the return of old costume Pikachu Pokemon. I do agree with Marky. Put them in the wild, even if it's just off incense. Or even where's the party play function? The party play thing they had for, was it the Go Fest or the Safari?
It's October. They'll be announcing more info, I think. There's going to be more elements, I would think, as
I hope
we get
there will
closer
be.
to release.
Because I really liked that addition to party play. Actually getting specific research encounters was great. Very, very happy to see the return of the origin forms of Palkia and Dialga. That's really, really nice. It's a good perk for the event. Safari Ball, fantastic. Great to see a new Pokeball. Having a use in an event, and I wonder if that could continue with Safari Zone, City Safaris, and it kind of just becomes a live event Pokeball, as it were, in the future.
And I like that because you've got the Beast Balls. Let's say you've got Premier Balls. You've got balls that are there for specific reasons, and I don't begrudge the fact that any that you have accrued you'll lose at the end of the event because you won't really need them.
No, and we'll have to see what they do with Mighty Pokemon, but if Mighty Pokemon are going to be featured in live events only, again, it's an interesting way of making evolved Pokemon, because we've always said for previous events, when they've had these evolved forms spawning in the wild, they've always not been shiny eligible unless they've been mega evolvable. And it's just been like, oh, well, I don't want that on my incense. They all have a shiny potential, which I think is really cool. Mark said it's kind of a special extra edition, seeing like if you see a wild shiny Tyrantrum, that's kind of sick. And
it's going to have
be interesting.
Potentially better IVs.
Yeah, and potentially be better for your showcase wins with the XXL eligibility. And it lends a perfect thing to the Safari Ball. You need a Safari Ball to catch these mighty Pokemon, which should be better for this live event. It's a bit like how they brought the showcases in to give a justification for the XXL and XXS system in a weird way. So they complement each other.
Chicken egg, isn't it? They're bringing these mighty Pokemon in.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah.
And I have no problem at all with more live events. I mean, unfortunately, not going to be able to get to Japan at all. And it's interesting to have something kind of bookending the year, as it were. I mean, I'm sure we'll be potentially looking to try and link up and do something together.
I think the three of us already said we're going to do something around the London area. But
a live event to end November will be really cool. So, yeah, I think looking solid. Do you want a preliminary score out of 10?
Actually, before we do score it, I want to say, just remember, the last time we did a live event in London in November was for the Ultra Beast Incursion.
Oh, yes, the Ultra Beast Arrival.
That was it. Sorry, the Ultra Beast Arrival. And that was a cold one, so we're potentially going to have to bundle up. But it's going to be a good weekend. Whether I can do 2 days in London for it, I don't know, but I'm certainly going to be going all out to get down there for at least 1 day.
I think you're right, Ian. Like, let's get the real world. It'll be dark by 4:00 then, 4:30.
Yeah.
So you're going to lose some of the time at the end just naturally because of the light. So that's sad, but that's just the way life is. So provisional score. I think, like I said, there's as many good. It's balanced with good things and bad things, in my opinion. So at the moment, till we get a bit more detail, I'm not ungrateful. I think it's a great idea of an event, and I'm going to give it a 7 at the moment, and then we'll see how it plays out nearer the time.
Yeah. I'm looking a little bit more on the positive side. Would have loved to have gone to Japan, but it just wasn't in the cards. It was announced too late, and I wouldn't be able to get the leave off of work. But overall, for the Japanese in-person event, that looks really good. It does look really good, and what we've come to expect from one of these live events. The global event does look good. I'm excited by it. I'm going to say I think this could be an 8.
And I'm hoping there's a few more bits of information coming along the way. We've still got good while before this event hits the road, as it were. So I'm going to sit with Marky in 7 camp. It's looking good, but I'm hoping there's a bit more extra coming. And I do think that it will be an amazing thing.
You've got to give it an extra point just for that logo. Look at it.
Oh, the logo's fabulous.
We did. We were giving it a 6 beforehand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what we think of the Go Wild. That's the big, big news. Something that perhaps isn't so big is what the final community day, solo community day of the year is going to be. November the 10th is MANKEY. Few people saw this one coming, and we're going to quickly run through it now. So obviously it's 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. your local time on that Sunday, November the 10th. MANKEY will be featured and have a much higher shiny potential, but the exclusive move, the featured attack, is Rage Fist, which was data mined not too long ago. So that's why people thought it could be MANKEY to end the year. It has some power. We don't know how good it's going to be just yet. Maybe you want to do it, but it's like every community day that runs throughout the Pokemon Go sphere as of recent. You've got the $1 or equivalent in your local currency ticket. Definitely recommend getting that because it gets you some research encounters and some special rewards, the Rocket Radar, etc. And you can gift it, of course. Your event bonuses. This one is a triple catch XP event for catching Pokemon. You also have the double catch candy and double the chance of Candy XL from catching Pokemon for trainers level 31 and up. Lure modules, what are those? Run for 3 hours when placed down during the event. And of course, our favorite item, incense. Runs for 3 hours when dropped during the event. That's excluding the daily adventure incense, unfortunately. Take a few snapshots, Marky. It's 5, isn't it?
It'll be 5.
Five
might be
snapshots.
It might be 7 for MANKEY.
Remember to take them.
Yeah, which we nearly forgot on Sewaddle. But it'll be MANKEY on your snapshots. And of course, there's one extra special trade for a maximum of 2 during the day and half trade cost. New com days mean bonus raid battles. So from 5 p.m. to actually 9 p.m. I don't know why they say 10 because I've never seen one run past 9 ever. You will have Primeape featured in these 4-star raids, and if you complete it successfully, you'll have MANKEY spawn around the gym for an extra 30 minutes at a radius of 300 meters. That is, of course, unless you live in Ealing. And there's field research tasks and showcases.
Well, good job we're not going to be doing this one in Ealing then, isn't it, Whitfield?
Absolutely.
But
absolutely. Go somewhere where a cell works.
There is a limited time evolution requirement for this one because normally you have to jump through a lot of hoops to evolve your Primeape into Annihilate. With this one, you just need to have your Primeape as your buddy and then catch 20 fighting type Pokemon to be able to evolve into Annihilate.
Yeah, which we recommend you get it done during the com day window.
Don't leave it till right at the end like we normally do.
It's going to be a little bit annoying. But I mean, boys, that's the final com day of the year. What do we think about it? I mean, MANKEY, there's a Kantomon, but Annihilate Gen 9 is still quite new.
Mark's speechless.
Mark for MANKEY.
Listen, I just shoot for the hip and tell it how it is. You know, if you haven't got a shiny MANKEY, there you go. Have fun with it. You know, I don't like the Pokemon. I think it's quite an underwhelming choice because if we do go down the line of Sewaddle being underwhelming, and being honest, you know, it was. You back it with another underwhelming community day. I just don't like this whole thing about recycling Pokemon that have been out in multiple events before and bring them into a community day. I think it's, dare I say it, just a little bit unimaginative.
We talked about this at the weekend. This will be the 4th community day in a row that we've found underwhelming.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah.
I agree. I have 2 shiny MANKEY. I always thought I'd got 3 until I actually wanted to evolve and Annihilate and realised I'd only got 2. Neither of them are particularly good. So I do need 1 shiny MANKEY. I don't have an awful lot of motivation for this one, hence why we're trying to cook up some plans to make this one a bit more fun because it's not the way to end the year. I'm sorry, because then bear in mind we're going to go into the Christmas re-roll.
Yes.
Which essentially will be almost half a year of dead community days.
This com day, yes, it's now a 3-stager, and not everybody has a shiny MANKEY. I mean, that is a rule of thumb for most com days. We said it for Ponyta, but there have been so many flatline com days this year. If you think back to
Mankey's been
Bound
spawning for
Suite,
like the last 2 months as a regular spawn.
Mankey's was like the second most common thing off my daily incense during 24 hours. I was just seeing it constantly. Like, come on. So not everybody has a shiny. That's absolutely fair enough. But I don't know if it deserves a com day, or if it does, we should have had something good beforehand.
I think
because,
it
as you
does,
guys said,
but not at this point in time.
We've had Tynamo. Admittedly, Poplio was okay there, but then we had, what was it, Ponyta, and I forget the other. September was. There's like a wave of mediocrity when it comes to com days this year. It's really weird to think. So I don't necessarily mind it, but yeah, hopefully we can cook up something a bit more fun.
Think back when we did a Lowland Geodude, we did a road trip, we played 20 minutes of community. I think that would be more than enough for this one.
Quite possibly. Let's not bother rating it out of 10, because I'm fairly sure I know which direction we're going to go with it.
I think so.
But speaking of potentially underwhelming events, there is something that is happening imminently in the next couple of days. MANKEY, or Magnetics Full 27. There's a magnetic study event, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. And this looks slightly better than the Community Day loop that we're in at the moment. I really am not feeling this at all, this event, but I'm not going to let that detract from what looks like an electric-themed event.
You're just excited because Minun and Plusler are on the poster, aren't you?
No. Do you know what? I've actually lost... I don't want to sound like that guy, but this has been a pretty underwhelming set of events that have just recently been announced. But hey, make it what you want. This isn't about her, but you might need something from it. But yes, I've been given the fun part of talking about the magnetic study event. Fortunately, it's only for a couple of days. That's Tuesday, October the 15th at 12 a.m. to Thursday, October the 17th at 11:59. It's always knows, putting in the middle of the week, that a lot of people will probably miss it. Event bonuses. Yes, you'll get the following bonuses. Increased chance to encounter Shiny Magnemite, Shiny Plusle, and Shiny Minun, which even I'm struggling to find. That's a good thing. But hey, do what you want with that. And magnetic lure modules are more likely to attract event-themed Pokemon. And each day there'll be a special bonus between those times. On October the 15th, you'll get 2 times XP for catching Pokemon. Helpful for people on that level 50 grind, or that level 40 grind, or whatever grind they're on. October the 16th, 50% more XP from raid battles. Nice. We'll just see what's in the raid battles first before you think about doing them. And October the 17th, 2 times Stardust for catching Pokemon. That's always good. We like that. So nothing wrong with that. So you get a timed research for this as well. And it'll be available each day. Oh, well, there you go. There's a reason to turn it on every day for this magnetic study event. And they will give trainers tasks focused on exploration and catching Pokemon. So October the 15th, which is the Tuesday, you'll get encounters with the featured Pokemon for the day, which is Plusle. There you go. You'll get 5,000 XP and 2,500 Stardust. On October the 16th, you will get encounters with the featured Pokemon of the day, which is Magnemite. And you get 1 magnetic lure module. Quite fitting for a magnetic event.
You know they're going to force you to evolve something to use it.
Of course they are. Of course they are. And on October the 17th, you'll get encounters with the featured Pokemon of the day, Minun. You'll get 5,000 XP and 2,500 Stardust. And if you're lucky, you might get a shiny one. There's field research task encounters that have got the following Pokemon. Yes, you've guessed it. Magnemite, Plusle, and Minun. They are the ones in the field research task encounters. And you might encounter a shiny one. And that is about all we're going to talk about on that event. So 3 days, 3 Pokemon, all featured, bit of Stardust. And from what it looks like is there'll be no featured magnetic raid bosses, which is a bonus. So you might actually want to raid during that event.
That's listed on the event bonuses.
Yeah. To do what you want with that event.
Knock yourselves out during the working week, people. Because that is Monday through to Wednesday, which I guess it is what it is. I haven't really got much to say on that event.
The only thing I can really add is there are a lot of newer players to the game, so they won't have mined the shiny Plusle and Minun back in like 2017, 2018, when they were just like everywhere. So for newer players, there's definitely something in there. The chance of getting Plusle and Minun shinies and Magnemite if you need it. But for OG players, I genuinely don't think there's an awful lot in there other than just to sort of top your resources up. And at the moment, We just stockpile XP. There's no real need for it, but you never know. Someday there might be.
There we go. That is that. Well, there's a lot of news, some of it mediocre, some of it actually quite ecstatic. But something else that's rather awesome is that I am the Game Lord, and I'm returning to the Pokédex to give you guys a head-to-head Mexican standoff game. So play your decks right. We haven't done this one for a pretty long time, I think.
It has been a while.
But boys, it's going to be a very quick fire game. So basically, let's go. Who gets to 3
It was
first?
literally head-to-head. It
is directly head-to-head. If anybody doesn't know what play your decks right is, I am going to pick a Pokemon from the Pokédex and ask either Ian or Mark, is this other Pokemon higher or lower numerically in the Pokédex than the starting Pokemon? They have to say higher or lower. If they get it correct, they'll get a... Sure, we'll go with that. Or if they get it wrong, they'll get a... Cool, we're going for the farmyard version of this game.
It's the best yard, Milo. Best yard.
It's the best kind of yard. Right. We're going to begin in Galar for now. Galar. And I'm going to ask, Ian, I would like you to tell me, is a Wooloo, it's not quite a goat, but we'll go with Wooloo.
It's a sheep.
Is Wooloo higher? Yeah, it's not quite a goat, exactly.
Sheep is not quite a goat.
Yes. That's the dictionary definition. Okay. Is Wooloo higher or lower in the Pokédex than Hatenna?
Oh, you bleeder.
You Hatenna.
You real Hatenna, Whitfield. I don't profess to have any idea whatsoever.
Hatenna.
I'm going to go... Wooloo is lower.
You may play the cow sound effect because you got it correct. Well done. Point to Vasa. Now, Marky, we're going to stick in Galar for this one. I would like you to tell me, is Stonjourner higher or lower than Obstagoon?
I think Stonjourner is higher than Obstagoon.
You are correct. There we go. It's now a point to the win, I guess. How are we going to do this?
That
Do we each have a
doesn't
point?
count,
If I
so
just
it's best of, isn't it? So if I get
Best
this wrong
of.
and Mark gets it right, he wins. If we both get it right, we keep going.
I've got one question right and it's thrown the whole thing up in the air.
yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing
He's
now.
not used to us actually getting these right.
No.
All right, Ian, I'm throwing it back to the research day not too long ago. So, tell me, is Passimian higher or lower in the Alolan Pokédex than Oranguru?
It's higher.
It is higher, yes.
I knew that one.
Okay, Marky, we're going to go to the legendary wolves from Generation 8. Is Zamazenta, the one you got shiny on the comm day, is that higher or lower in the Pokédex than Zacian?
Higher, isn't it?
He got it right, it is higher. You boys are on point. Usually you do really badly.
I just put on it might be alphabetically on that one. That's what they like to do, don't they, Ian?
I would have justified it by saying
Zacian.
that Sword was before Shield, even though they're both technically released at the same time.
Well, there you go. All right, maybe it's because it's newer Pokemon, so we're going to go back a few generations now.
He's going to go for Unova or something, isn't it, that we have got no idea about? Look at that smile on his face.
Like I said, Unova. Let's go with this one then, Vasa. So, can you tell me, is Gallade higher or lower than Dusk Noir?
Glade's lower.
Gallade is lower indeed.
Oh, Ian!
By a whole 2 in the Pokédex. Okay, Marquis, to stay in contention, your guilty pleasure Pokemon, Heatran. Is Heatran higher or lower in the Pokédex than Giratina?
I think he was lower.
It is lower.
Drawing! Handshake, a free all draw.
Well
That's
done.
how we
This
do
is a
things.
good one. Okay, we're going to go to Paldea now, boys.
The generation neither of me or Mark have played.
Generation neither. There we go.
Mm.
So,
Neither.
2 Community Day Pokemon. Ian, is Annihilate higher or lower in the Pokédex than Clodsire?
I haven't got a clue. I would say Annihilate is lower.
You're correct.
Oh, Ian.
Goodness sake. Well done, Vasa. And Marky, sticking with Paldea for now, tell me, is Bombirdier higher or lower in the Pokédex than Wiglet?
Bombirdier is lower.
I'm afraid that is incorrect. That was a really good rally right there. So, that took a long time to stump you boys. Well done, both of you. But Ian, I can pass on the foam rubber crown of Lord Game Lord, to you for your show.
I did a thing. I never win these games.
To be fair to both of you, did a fantastic effort. Well done. Marky only fell at the very tricky final hurdle on that one. So, play your decks right. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, so let's talk about tripping at the final
success.
hurdle, shall we, boys? The Galarian Expedition kicked off on Friday last week. The Galarian Expedition. So let's just have a very quick top-line chat about how we've found this event.
All right, the Galarian Expedition, which, when we read it out on paper, had some of the most hyped things I think we've seen for the longest time in the game. Not only bringing in shiny Zamazenta, but the shiny Galarian birds off of Incense. However, a bit like we said with the Legendary Heroes event, those are the good bits of the event. Everything else seems to be a bit sort of meh. Certainly the first part of it, that's for sure, the regular bit before we get to the Team Rocket takeover. I've noted the spawns are very neither here nor there, really. There's a lot of Spheal, there's a lot of Beldon that I feel is featured in everything.
There's a lot of ex-community Daemons, that's all it seems to be.
And having played it for quite a long time, I will say, it does get very repetitive. Not just previous community Daemons that are happening next month. Mankey is heavily featured as well.
Mankey is everywhere, but it has been for so long.
Yes.
Mankey has been spawning. I was thinking about it. It's seemingly for like over a month, maybe 2 months. It's just been in every event. It's been everywhere.
It does feel like it. I will say that the collection challenges are an improvement on the last event because obviously they're just evolutions. They're just evolutions.
Okay, small wins. Yeah.
Small wins.
You just have to burn some candy on the event Pokemon. Having Fungoose in there was quite good. Boosted Dust, did enjoy seeing that and getting some dust regained. But apart from that, really, it's been focused on the shiny Galarian birds and trying with your daily incense to get those. Not saying it's a bad thing just to have that as your main focus because everybody's going to be drawn to the brand new kind of shiny hype train. But the rest of the event, it didn't really make much of a difference, to be honest. You could have taken the spawns away and probably not many people would have cared or noticed, to be honest. So that's kind of my view on part one. What about you, Marky?
There you go. That's my view on part one. No, I mean, I haven't really played it too much. Weather's awful. You have to get out and play it. Use the incense, which is what the game's about. Totally get that. Working week. I've only been playing it for the daily incense. That's the only thing I've been interested in on it.
Well, that's the only real good bit about it, to be honest, if you're not raiding.
It's the only real good thing about it. There's nothing else really enticing about it. So I think that's what I'm focusing on. So yeah, that's about my views on it. No, I mean it. No, that's nothing really to add.
Yeah.
No, you're kind of right, Mark. There's not an awful lot in here. The wild spawns are very generic and kind of a little bit boring, if I'm honest. The Daily Adventure Incense does bring you the chance of the shiny G-Birds, as we know.
Well, what's it like having one?
But as Whitfield will allude to, he's played this event a lot, an awful lot over the last day and seen... I think your video will be out by, so you can't really spoil it. You've not seen many, have you?
No, I mean, I know there are people who've had a lot worse fortune than me, but in 24 hours of running Daily Incense, I saw 6 birds.
Which is crazy low rates. Really low rates.
Yeah, so they're not they're not boosted rates at all, but that's going to keep the chase in there for the foreseeable future.
It is, because I've seen so many people going, I hope they keep the shiny glaring birds. And they're not going to release it and then take it away. I know they have done in the past.
No.
There is history for
They're
that.
not going to do a
They're not
Smeargle.
going to just drop something this big, then take it away. For me, this event has been about trying to get the shiny Zamazenta. It hasn't happened. I've raided it not as hard as I did Zacian, because strangely, I've not been getting as many remote invites. And one thing that has really kind of triggered me, if I will, and I hate to use the term triggered, but at the weekend, all we're seeing is the shadow shiny dogs. So at the weekend, I got really next to no time to raid these in person, because all I'm seeing is Entei everywhere when the 5 stars are spawning.
That's a common theme. A lot of people have been saying, because the rates have been really, particularly on the weekend, well, actually on the weekend is the only time they spawn, but even though they're in their 3rd rotation, they have really pushed the Shadow Gen 2 beasts super hardcore. So you can find those easily at long last, but that you only have one weekend for Zamazenta and Zacian, respectively, and people haven't been able to find raids.
On Sunday, I went out to actually film a vlog, which I haven't published yet, but I was out for about 2.5 hours, I think, end to end. So not a massive amount of time. But in that time, even checking Campfire, I found 3 Zamazenta raids in 2.5 hours.
They're hardly there, Ian.
They're just not spawning.
It's not good enough, really.
It really isn't. It really isn't. Having said that, again, small wins. One thing I have taken away from this event, small flex, thanks Helix for sending me the raid. I did get the Hundo Zamazenta from a remote invite.
Oh,
so
nice, Fassa.
Small wins. Not shiny. It's not that beautiful pink dog that Marky got, but I'll take that. And of course, we've already talked about it. The shiny Galarian Articuno is beautiful, and I did get that on Community Day. But not everybody has the ability, and I know a daily adventure intense lasts for 15 minutes, but if you got 6 spawned in 24 solid hours, 15 minutes, if you are doing a 15-minute walk at your lunch or before work or after work, you've got to have some really crazy luck to get even a bird, let alone a shiny one.
Yeah. I think focusing on that's a really interesting conversation, because we spoke a bit about it at Sewaddle Community Day, and some content creators have flown the other side around the world to get and have a crack at it before it starts, and they'd be doing sort of 6-hour sessions and not really getting anything. People that live on the other side of the world who are creators as well have been doing similar things and having very little reward. I know social media is a very interesting beast when it comes to when it comes to sort of understanding how much success people are having. But it is nice to see people having successes with it, and some people having some really unfortunate luck with them. One finding one that shines, and then 2 losing it somehow. It's obviously horrific, but I've seen enough on social media to suggest it is completely random.
Yes, completely random.
As Ian said, rightly or wrongly, this is another way of paying to increase your chances of getting the shiny. It's just you're not using poker coins directly to do this. You're using resources you've won from raids that you've paid with. Potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of paying, the Master Ball research was released alongside this event, not specifically for it, but which was $7.99 US or equivalent.
Yeah.
And what are our thoughts about putting this behind a paywall? I know we've already had 3 of them. I don't think it's the first time to charge for the Master Ball.
I don't think it is, but this one, $8 or £8 or whatever it is steep. And when you look at it, yes, clearly the Master Ball is the main focus, but we've had them, I think, for free in the past.
We've had 2 free ones and 2 paid ones.
You don't have to buy it, essentially. But now that we know that the shiny Galarian birds are not going to flee from
they're
you,
a guaranteed. Well, they're not a guaranteed catch, are they?
No,
but
they're guaranteed not to flee unless you run out of Pokeballs, like I saw someone do, or which happens a lot at the moment. Is the game crashes.
Because somebody said to me, "Oh, a Galarian bird flees because they ran out of balls." Well, no, you ran out of balls. That you've not got a resource to catch it. So
no,
it's
should have gone into the shop, bought some Pokeballs, something along those lines. But really, what? I can't think of many things I would bother using a Master Ball on. I think as we said way back in the day, a Hundo Legendary on the last Pokeball, yes, be tempted for a Master Ball. But unless a Galarian Bird is going to be like good IV or something, which there is, somebody did a ton of mass, and
You've got a list, haven't you? It's somewhere on the web there was a published list. Yeah.
Yes, it's a GoHub article. Somebody did a ton of maths working out what CP could equate to level-wise, and then what IV combinations could mean that CP is 100%. And some CPs align to be, it's going to be 100%, whereas some could have 50 different combinations of IVs to calculate to get to that level. So it's a tricky one, but there's very little things I bother using a Master Ball on.
The Master Ball is one of those things. I'm currently sat on 2, and I've got 2 now in research. One's ready to claim, and the other one I'm working through. But I've never yet had the inclination to use a Master Ball. I know a lot of people have, but I've never had the inclination to use a Master Ball at this point in time, even when I've seen Galarian Birds.
That's the thing though, Ian, isn't it? That's the thing. You've hit the nail on the head then. These balls, rightly or wrongly, cost money. And we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago once we realised the Galarian Shiny Birds wouldn't run unless you had bad fortune with the game.
Yeah.
Potentially. What would you use a Master Ball on? So for me, it signifies there's something else coming in the game, which is bigger or newer than the Galarian Birds, potentially. Because the Galarian Birds won't be the only thing. Will there be other legendaries that have got mechanics?
There'll be other exclusives, yeah. There will be.
The Beasts will have variety versions, don't they? Do the Beasts have versions?
Not
Galarian Entei?
Galarian Entei. Nice. I mean,
there'll be something else, right? There's going to be something else.
I think you got a good point there, Marky. Potentially, yes. But part 1 of the Galarian expedition, let's quickly rate it out of 10. Vasa, what are you going to give it?
6.
6. Off the cusp. Marky?
I'm with Ian on this, a 6. And I'm being generous.
Yeah. And I'll give it a 6 as well, to be honest. And all 6 of those points are because of the Galarian Birds, Shiny, absolutely, and the Salmon Center. Yep. But before we quickly move it on, the Team Rocket takeover, we finally know what the new Shadow Shiny wave is. And what do you think of these boys? We have Shadow Shiny Ralts, brand new. We have Shadow Shiny Galarian Zigzagoon, brand new to the Rocket stuff. And the returning Shadow Shiny Beldum. It's a good wave.
They're okay, actually. Yeah, they're okay.
Shadow Shiny Galarian Birds, what Ian wants now.
Yeah. Don't blame you, Ian. I don't blame you, mate. I really don't blame you.
So I mean, there's not too much we can really discuss because at the point of recording, that half of the event has only been going for just under a day. So we'll probably talk about that next week.
I think we're going to have to because I really haven't encountered any of these new Shadow Mons. Looking at the time now for saying it's almost 11 p.m. as we're recording this, I haven't actually put the game on, barring remote invites, which I've had 2 since I finished work. So I haven't actually, I've not played the game at all this afternoon.
Yeah. I know Team Rocket is not your best pal, Marky.
No. He loves the balloons, though.
Oh, they're brilliant, they are. No, I mean, listen, it is what it is. With Team Go Rocket, you just have to get through that second and third pages. They're a little bit tedious if you don't enjoy it, that mechanic of the game. But I think Shadow Heatran is worth getting. I think I'll certainly be getting it. I find the Rocket things great for TMing frustration, but I do find them just repetitive. Do you know what? And I think that's all they are, aren't they? They're just they're an annoyance, aren't they? That's the whole point of when they're taking over, isn't it? You've got to beat as many as you can, to bat them away. So by nature, it is what it is. Let's see who gets the best Shadow Heatran out of the 3 of us. Mine will be a 2-star.
I think we said this last week. You guys went 2 stars. I went 1 star. I haven't got mine at this point, so we'll come back next week and have a look at it. We'll talk about the Team Rocket takeover properly next week. But, boys, I think the balloon, Team Rocket balloon, has actually knocked down the tree.
There it is, Ian. There it is, Milo. The balloon is wedged in my girth, and it's brought it down.
Your girthy oak.
It has fallen. The girthy girl has fallen. But yes, we had a great question, a Pokemon-related question, actually. Well done, Milo. That was a bit left field. Me and Ian certainly didn't see that coming. Anyhow, the question we asked to our amazing listeners was, if you had to give yourself a Pokemon typing, what are you choosing and why? Can be mono or duo typing. Very good, Milo. The boys have shared theirs. Which do you like the best from their picks? Let's read the results and then we'll see what our amazing listeners have come up with. 32 votes on the poll, so a nice...
Okay, it's about par with last week then.
Essentially, I don't think anything we can post for polls is going to get as massive votes.
No, but it did for Sinnoh on the last one I listened to from an old number. So
There's been a couple.
Yeah.
No, there's been a couple of polls that have got some good traction.
Let's see. I think it's something to do with X, maybe. But anyway, in third place with 28% of the vote. So it was 3 in here, and the last place has got 28%.
Ooh.
It's Grass and Ghost.
Nice! People don't like their Phantom.
Which was Milos. That was Milos. In second place with 31% of the vote, it was Flying and Ground. That was my choice. Which means with a whopping 41%, which is quite a good win, actually, when 3 are involved. Was Ian's Water and Dark. I did struggle to find a logo for Ground on mine, which probably put people off. I just put a potato.
Potato type.
Don't give Niantic ideas.
Oh my God.
Maybe not. So Barside 2 responded and put a gif of Jaws coming out of the water with dark water. Very good.
Yes. There you go.
Love that one. I Am Prius has put no ghost, no party with a little gify Gengar having a little giggle with itself. Lucy Davis has put Psychic would be cool, could predict things and read people's minds, but that might not be a good idea. Now, ask Mel Gibson that and What Women Want. It messed with his mind. Bless him.
Milo would never pick sidekick type.
No, sidekick type.
Sidekick type, okay.
Robin. Thomas at 96_Tom Ellis, but possibly Dark Poison. Whilst my partner's typing is Fairy Dark. Charlie Todd has put, from how fast I spoke on the voice note I sent you guys before I'd have to say electric, right? Also, the 4-star Charmander is staying a Charmander for now till it can get Blast Burn for free in an event. Smart choice. And Mark Bailey's put Noah, electric and psychic. He said because he's fast and likes to learn. He said he's smart, in brackets, laughy face.
There you go, nice.
And PS of the 3 options, Flying Ground probably has the least weaknesses, but I picked Grass Ghost. I think it's a fun combination.
Good man, lovely.
Yeah, well, it didn't do any good. You still finished last.
I know, yeah.
So,
most exclusive.
Should have willed for Grassfire, Milo.
Yeah. Ian, what does that make Milo in this poll? Is he the loser?
Loser.
Loser. Oh, Milo.
See if you can win next week, Whitfield.
Yeah, he will.
We'll have to find out. But thank you, everybody who's got involved in the poll and our community feedback bits and pieces as well. But, boys, that's the wrapping up of episode 192. So, if you enjoyed and haven't got us on your podcast download list, hit the plus or follow or subscribe button to make sure you never miss an episode. And we always release them Sunday. New episode every single week. We never miss a week, do we? Well. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Always the same time, same day.
And you know what?
Consistency.
We never miss a week.
We never miss a week. Jinx. But
Jinx. Sweet chums.
We'd also appreciate it if you could drop us a 5-star review, be it with stars or if you actually write a review, I think via Apple Podcasts. We'd love to hear from you. And that would really, really tickle our fancy. It'd be fantastic.
Does your fancy need tickling, Milo?
Perhaps.
Milo likes to tickle on his fancy.
We've obviously mentioned at the top of the show multiple ways you can get in contact with us, either using #ShiniesTheWeek, or if you want to send us a WhatsApp voice message, as you've heard last week from Pen Pal Simon, anything goes within reason. To be honest, we'd love to hear from you listeners.
Well, anything goes if it's family friendly.
Exactly. contact@incensed.podcast.com if you want to do a letters to the host in written format would work just as well. And we did mention it at the top of the show, but again, a big thanks to the Patreon squad who help support us and keep this podcast chugging along to a very high noise standard. But boys, I think that's going to wrap up this week.
No, it's not. Wait, I've got some good news.
What?
What?
Well, I suffer from allergies, but Shroomish will be the
Good news.
Spotlight Hour next week, Tuesday, October 15th, with Whitfield's favourite bonus, 2 times dust.
On that nice shell. Good luck on that one. That's fantastic. We'll hopefully catch you next week for 193. Ciao for now.
I choose you!